Hello, friends, and welcome back to the shop. Today is Sunday, April 27th, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. Hope you all had a happy Easter, and I really had a wonderful Holy Week and Easter. Really, it was a good time spiritually, of course, but also just relaxing. I did no network, internet, social media, nothing for 4 days, and that includes work email. I just did not look at a screen for 4 days. I watched TV, but watched a lot of baseball. Had a great time. My wife was in Pittsburgh. She's still in Pittsburgh, visiting with her family. So it was just me and the dogs, and we'll talk more about that later. I'll tell you about some of the things I got up to, but all good stuff. So I'm back. I missed you guys. I definitely missed the Friday night live stream. I missed that social interaction that we have, and missed being able to sit down with you on Sunday morning. But at the same time, I really did need the time to recharge, so it was wonderful. So today, we are going to talk about my impressions of Cornell and Deal Small Batch The Beast from 2023. Made several videos about this already. We're not going to get into any of the hyper controversy. We're just going to enjoy and talk about the tobacco today. So this was the tobacco of the month chosen by you, the Friday night live stream viewers. I'll never get tired of that. Uh, and to give you an idea of how this went down, we're well below half a tin, probably to about a quarter tin. And yeah, I'd say I've got about maybe, I don't know, four more smokes out of this before I put the remainder into the uh, tobacco of the year jar, because this is definitely one that I liked. And I have really enjoyed it. The cut is typical Cornell and Deal ribbony, chopped up ribbony kind of cut. Nothing special there. Very packable. No issues at all with packing. And I'm going to be packing this in the Mighty Hercules. This is a Hercules large billiard 7LE second brand, I believe. Wonderful pipe. And this, as I pack it, let me tell you a little bit about the tin note on this is wonderful. A lot of people say, "Oh, it smells awful." Yeah. Well, if you know Cornell and Deal, uh, and blends like Old Joe Krantz and Haunted Bookshop, and the aroma is not something that's going to be necessarily pleasant, but it's going to be telling you that you're going to have a really good smoke, and that's what this is. It's pungent. It's um, it's the Perique. It's the Cavendish. We'll talk more about that. And then riding on that is this wonderful spiced rum topping. And we'll talk more about that as well. So I guess this is technically an aromatic, but I really wouldn't lump it in with those with most aromatic. But the process is interesting. So let me get it lit up. I'll tell you. Well, before I light it, let me just tell you quickly. I got to find my lighter anyway. That the components are Perique, and it's apparently got a very large amount of Perique. I've seen numbers anywhere from like 53 to 60%, something like that. Depends on what you read. Um, and it definitely does have a lot of Perique in it. It also has Cornell and Deal's very unique Red Virginia Cavendish, and I think that's a really important part of what's going on here. There's also some Black Cavendish and a bit of Dark Fired Kentucky. I don't like Dark Fired Kentucky, but this is one of the blends where it just seems to be done right, and I think it would be lacking something if it wasn't there. So, in case you can't tell, I really enjoyed this tobacco. Let me get it lit up and we'll talk about impressions. So that rum topping, excuse me, that it's the pre rum topping is the first thing that hits you, and then the pre very quickly comes into play. The rum is not overwhelming in any way. It's not alcohol-like. It's not. I know a lot of people that have had issues with alcohol tend to avoid alcohol-based toppings, but I don't think this is one that would, in any way make you think of a drink. It's more, the rum is the vehicle for the spice that's in it, I think. It adds a little bit of sweetness that's probably coming from the rum itself, and then the spice is there. And the Perique is very prominent in flavor, but not in spice. And how do I explain that? So I'm getting a mouthful of that plummy, figgy kind of Perique flavor that I really enjoy, but I'm not getting the burn that often comes with Perique, that wasabi spiciness in your nose and stuff. It just isn't as strong as I would think from a blend that's this high in Perique. Yeah, I mean, I can retrohale this with no problem, and that's a good thing. I think a lot of people would be put off by the amount of Perique in this because they say, "Oh, I can't smoke Perique. It's just a little bit bothers me." If a little bit bothers you, you probably don't want to try this. But if you're worried about it because the Perique is very spicy, I don't think you're going to get that here. And I think that's because of what the Cavendish is doing to it. In particular, that Red Virginia Cavendish, which is really wonderful stuff. And it's wonderful, and I think it's got a lot to do with the topping as well. The role that the Red Virginia Cavendish plays is very important in how the topping is incorporated into this, and we'll get to that in a minute. The other thing about this is that very subtle undertone that the Dark Fire Kentucky is bringing in. It's hard for me to describe it. Usually Dark Fire Kentucky is very like smoky, barbecuey kind of. And I guess that's there, but it's like really, really subtle. But it's really important. It's almost like the foundation of the blend in a sense, because you got all this sweet, spicy stuff going on, and you need something to ground it. And that little bit of Dark Fire Kentucky seems to really ground it well. I would be really interested to try this with something like some white burley instead of the Dark Fire Kentucky, just to see how that changes the profile. But anyway, Jeremy, if you're listening and you want to make me some beast with white burley instead of Dark Fire Kentucky, I'll smoke it for you. I'll do that for you, my friend. Uh, the really cool thing about this that I don't think I haven't watched any reviews of this. I don't tend to watch tobacco review or impression videos of things I'm smoking because I don't want to be, you know, swayed one way or the other. I will after I'm done with this. I will watch some, but I haven't heard anybody like in comments or stuff bring this up. The way the topping is applied is it's actually soaked in for a week, and I'm guessing they do that with the Red Virginia. And the reason I'm guessing the Red Virginia Cavendish, the reason I'm guessing that is that's how they make Autumn Evening. Autumn Evening is Red Virginia Cavendish, and they sort of steam pressurize maple syrup into it, or maple syrup extract, or whatever it is. And I love Autumn Evening. It's one of the few aromatics I will smoke because it tastes the same top to bottom. Some people say they don't, it tastes like cigarette ash top to bottom, and I don't understand that because to me it tastes like maple pancakes from top to bottom. But different people have different tastes. But it doesn't change. It's very consistent. And that's rare for an aromatic. And this does the same thing with that spiced rum topping. You can taste it all the way through the bowl because they actually soaked it in, I'm guessing, to the Red Virginia Cavendish. And it's like a sponge for those flavors. It works really well in Autumn Evening, and it's working really well in this blend. So yeah, I like it. I like it so much. So the story is I tried this a long time ago, And I think there was a release of this, because I'm getting my times mixed up here. So I think there was a release of this earlier than 2023. I think there might have been like a 2018 or something like that. So somewhere around there, a release of this. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I seem to remember there being an earlier release, and I tried that at a pipe show gathering, meetup, something or the other, and really liked it, but I didn't buy any. And my friend Texas Piper Eddie, got to meet with him one day, and I can't remember if it was that day or if he sent it to me, but he actually gave me the tin that I'm smoking right now. But I never opened it. I just put it in my cellar, and a short while later, I was at a pipe show, and I saw a tin of the same 2023 release, and I bought that, and that's in my cellar as well. Well, all the hype started around this with the 2025 release. So I opened up the tin, because tobacco became the tobacco of the month, and immediately bought four more tins because it was just that good. So I've got four tins of this still in the box actually. I'm looking at it right now under the table here. Uh, Now, if you've followed me for any length of time, and if you haven't, please subscribe because and thumbs up and all that kind of stuff because we're trying to build a pipe community here, and your help would be appreciated. But if you have been following me for any time, you know I don't like to chase the limited releases. I don't like to. I'm not one of these guys that'll buy 20 tins of something the day it's released. And uh, but this is something different. This is one that I will look forward to, and I'm never going to buy 20 tins of it, but I want to have some of this in my cellar. It's been an everyday smoke this month because it was the tobacco of the month. Um, and that's what I try to do with the tobacco of the month. But it wouldn't be. I would probably consider this a once a week at most treat. But man, is it a treat. Yeah. So, and this, by the way, this is all based on a 2023 tin. So it's got some age on it, and it's a different blend than the 2025, although my guess is it's going to be pretty similar. I won't know for a while because I'm not going to open those tins anytime soon. But yeah, it's wonderful stuff. So I think I said enough. I recommend if you're a fan of Perique, if you're a fan of good tobacco. I don't know, started that sentence without knowing how it ended, which is something my mother taught me to never do. Uh, yeah, I think if you're at all intrigued, it's worth a try. And I know it's probably impossible to get now, but there'll be future releases, I'm sure. And maybe you got a friend that has some, you can get them to share a bowl with you. If the weather's nice, meet them in a park, meet them at a pipe shop, hang out for a while, enjoy the camaraderie. That's what me and Texas Piper Eddie did that day, and it was a very memorable day. Even though we only spent a couple hours together, it was great fun to just sit in a park, smoke a pipe, and talk about life. So, all right. So, moving on. Interesting week last week because, in addition to taking the 4 days away from any form of social media, I had to do something with my time. And I got a lot of outdoor work done. I got all of our garden beds prepped, and I did something so if you've been following me for a long time, you know that over the past couple of years, the productivity of my vegetable gardens has just gone to zero. And I decided to test the soil. And so I got a soil test kit, and I had a little chemistry lab set up down here in the shop, and tested all the beds, and they all were pretty okay with nitrogen and phosphorus and pH, but the potassium, the potash levels were low in all of them, which kind of surprises me. But there you have it. So I figured, well, if I'm going to fix one thing, I'm gonna go all out. So normally what I do is in the spring I'll get a bag of composted manure and put that over the top. I'll till it in, and then I plant my vegetables. So I've been reading a lot about no-till gardening and all that, and the idea that you need uh, the microbial networks, the fungal networks that grow through the soil. They really help keep the soil aerated and provide nutrients for the plants and all that. And I thought, well, okay, part of me thinks this is hippie stuff, but why not give it a try? So I went all out. I did use compost. Well, first off, I lightly tilled up the soil, got rid of weeds and things like that, and then put a layer of compost down. I got a mycorrhizal fungal inoculant, which is a fine white powder that has these beneficial fungi in it that'll grow in the soil. And so I put a coating of that down, just lightly dust the soil with it. And after each of these, just lightly till in the top inch or so. And I also added a potassium muriate of muriate of potash is what I think it was called. And again, just sprinkle that down. And there's ratios for this and everything, so I knew how much to add. And tilled that in, and then soaked it all down. Put a layer of straw, straw on top of it. I'm trying straw mulch. I've never mulched a vegetable garden before. I usually just weed it. But there's a lot of benefits apparently to having a mulch in terms of moisture retention and keeping temperature stable. So I'm using straw because I'm thinking that's going to be biodegradable, and I'm going to compost that back in and all that. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, there's a layer of straw down. Let that sit for a week. And just yesterday I planted the first vegetables. I've got some spinach and arugula planted, and then everything else is going to be from transplanted plants. But it's an experiment. I'm really interested to see how this is going to work out, because it's, I changed a lot, and yeah, it's going to be cool. The other thing I've got to do is I've got to put up a rabbit guard of some sort around the spinach and the arugula, because rabbits apparently really, really, really like arugula. They destroyed my plants last year, and it was sad, because I like arugula too. I like arugula about as much as a rabbit does. So anyway, I will keep you posted as time goes on, and show you pictures and all that. I took some pictures of the beds. I don't have them ready to show you now, but maybe next week I'll slip those in. But I really enjoyed the work. I really enjoyed just being outside, and unfortunately this weekend is damp and rainy, so I didn't do very much at all. But I'm just having a good time doing that, and I've got all these things I want to do down here. I've got all this stuff around the house I want to do, and I just suddenly had time because I wasn't doing this kind of thing, and I love doing what I'm doing right now. During Lent, I decided to turn off Facebook and Instagram. Now, I don't really spend any time on Facebook at all. I just have Instagram piped directly to Facebook. So if I put something on Instagram, it shows up on Facebook. But occasionally I get a direct message from someone on Facebook, and I have to go on and see what they want. On Instagram, I get a lot of messages, and it's, people I love and people that just are staying in touch with me. But it takes time. Read the message, look at the link, respond to that, and I feel like Instagram's more of it's almost more like somebody sends you a text message, like you have to respond to that. A YouTube comment, I read them all, but sometimes I just do the heart and thumbs up because I just don't have the time to engage in a conversation with every comment. I feel like on Instagram, I sort of have this obligation to do that. And so anyway, it's been, the whole of Lent, I haven't opened it. And I got to Easter Monday, and I said to myself, well, I guess I can open it now, but I don't want to. And I haven't. And I may not. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do with that. But it takes up so much of my time. Time that I just don't want to have taken away from me, because I got other things to do, and I don't, got limited time on this earth. Got to take advantage of it. So yeah, I'm thinking about really pulling back from the whole social media mess. Not YouTube. At least not this. I probably am not going to watch as much because I watch a lot. I watch a lot of pipe videos. I don't often comment on them just because well, two reasons. One is that because of my channel, I think sometimes when I comment or if I get involved in a live stream, it tends to shift the attention to me, and I don't think that's right. Um, the other is I just don't have the time, but I will thumbs up everything. I also watch a lot of woodworking videos, and now I'm watching some gardening videos, and it takes time. It takes time. I want to get back to using my hands again, back to doing stuff down here, doing stuff out in the garden, and yeah, being part of the world rather than watching other people be part of the world. Yeah, I think that makes sense. But you guys are special, and that's never going to change for me until I'm out in the garden permanently, if you know what I mean. So with that, my friends, I've taken up enough of your Sunday. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you think pulling back from the social media thing is a good idea, or if you've done it, if you would never do it. Let me know what you think. And if you've tried 2023 The Beast, let me know if you agree with what I thought about that. So with that, I hope you all have a fantastic Sunday and you're looking forward to a wonderful week ahead. And until we speak again, I will look forward to talking to you all again very soon. Goodbye now.